Wing Nation rolling along here at the Racing Electronics display at PRI here at Indianapolis, Indiana. Joining us is the series owner and champion of the Kubota High Limit Racing, Brad Sweet. Hey man, how are you?
Good. That sounds funny when you say the series owner and the champion, because that's a unique set of circumstances to be able to race in high limit racing. But yeah, we got a great staff and we had a great first year. So excited to be here at PRI and yeah, just enjoying all the new things coming out and seeing all the excited team owners, drivers, and industry people that make this show possible.
What are some big picture things you learned in year one that you're going to apply to year two? Are there lessons learned from the first full season of doing this?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of internal lessons, internal in a business that you learn what to do, what not to do. I thought we had a really great first year. We have obviously a very experienced staff that helped mitigate a lot of the learning curve as far as night in and night out. But there's so much room to grow our sport. Our sport's just such a beautiful product. It's just finding those avenues to keep showcasing it at the highest level. So we have some new ideas, and I think you'll see kind of nothing crazy, but you'll see the run of show maybe look a little different at a high limit race this year. How our pit areas organized might look a little different this year. And then obviously we had some tracks last year that we didn't do as well as we wanted to on the ticket sales side of things. And so we're going to some new tracks. We're starting on the West Coast. Obviously Vegas will be a big one for us. And we made some subtle changes, but the overall infrastructure is still there for year two.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about it. We've talked about West Coast swings forever in this sport. West Coast swings rain, West Coast swings 1 or 2. You guys have 2 of them actually this year. And Brad, you've talked about how important California and the West Coast is. Just kind of, I think the schedule kind of reinforces that.
Yeah, I think obviously there's tons of pockets across the country that are very important to, showcase, the highest level of sprint car racing. And obviously, California has 40 million people and it's a very populous state. And, from Northern California to Southern California is a big difference. So the opportunity to go to Vegas was something we couldn't pass up and be aligned with, obviously, NASCAR and just our connection with Kyle, being part owners in the series. And just a good opportunity to get in front of a whole different fan base that, to showcase our product and what sprint car racing is. So, once that's kind of, came into fruition, I guess, then obviously there was an opportunity to kind of go over the hill to Larry and Paris and Bakersfield, which you're always looking for those warmer weather climates, markets in March and April even. So we feel like Southern California, Phoenix, Vegas, and then on out to Amarillo and Dodge City. It gives us a good opportunity to get a nice amount of races in that 3-week span. And then obviously our fall swing did exceptionally well last year, and the fans really got excited about that, and we had some big events, and so we're excited to do that again for sure.
No doubt, the big events really, really cool, that's for sure. When we look at this, I want to switch over to you as the driver. To be able to win your 6th straight championship, it's got to be very rewarding, especially with all the curveballs you threw at you. And when I say that, just going to new tracks, going to new places with the new series, has to be real rewarding to get that 6th consecutive championship as a driver.
Yeah, sometimes, like I said, I think in an earlier interview, like I get here and I'm so in high limit mode, I forget that, we just came off of a championship season as a race driver. And, I'm just so passionate about the sport and proud of the sport that, it's growing, and it's so great right now to see so many fans so excited about, what sprint car racing's doing. And so obviously to be a champion 6 straight times is, I think it'll be something you look back in years down the road and be like, man, how did we accomplish that? And something to definitely be very proud of. It's a testament to the race team. My mechanics, obviously Eric Prutzman has been with me for every championship, and it's been a fun ride. So obviously, now we have another season coming. It's never ending, right? You're champion, and the day after you win the championship, the internet says who's going to win next year. So it's short-lived, but we're excited to go out and try to win another championship.
I've got a couple of big picture topics, or maybe regional big picture topics. The first one is we've talked so much about California. You're a California native. It appears that Calistoga is coming back. We see the NARC Tour has got a date there, the Louis Vermeil Classic. As a California guy and as a guy that's seen pictures of Calistoga, how important is this to have Calistoga back whenever, however it plays out with what everyone does, but how important is it to have that track back?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to see racetracks shut down, especially historic racetracks that have been around as long as Calistoga. It's, holds a lot of history, and it's very special to a lot of, people in Northern California. So, yeah, we definitely want Calistoga to be there in some capacity. And obviously, I know it's been a challenge as the development around that area, isn't necessarily the, most race-friendly crowd. They're obviously very into the high-end wines and things like that. So obviously trying to fit in where we can fit in there, and I hope they have a successful first year, kind of relaunching, and then obviously if there's an opportunity for us to get there, in the future, it's something we definitely would like to happen.
On the other side of the country, well, almost totally the other side of the country, getting the All-Stars back. I know you guys made the purchase of the All-Stars and you talked about bringing it back. How important was that to you to partner up with Rich Farmer and to bring that back? I think the schedule unveil, I heard, might be later today, so we don't need to get into that, but how important is it to bring that brand back and Ohio Speed Week back as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was something that was always important to Kyle and I, is never ignoring the history of the sport. And the All-Stars are the oldest series ever in America. So it was never our goal to go through kind of what we went through with that. But I think sometimes you have to take a step back, sometimes to move 2 steps forward. And I think it's going to put the All-Stars in a healthier regional position, maybe what that series was originally intended for, which is to support Ohio and maybe a state or two around. And maybe it had kind of gotten to the point where it was moving around a little too much, but we're gonna learn with it. But it's really neat to bring the history of the All-Stars back. Obviously, Rich is gonna do a good job with it. He's excited and passionate about Ohio racing, and that's what you need. You need someone that's, when you run these regional series, you got to really know the ins and outs of the region. So yeah, we're excited to kind of see where he goes with that, and we're certainly supporting him, and happy for the fan base in Ohio to have their beloved All-Stars back. And obviously, hopefully the racers will enjoy racing for those little bit of elevated purses, and what an All-Star win means to those race teams. So yeah, we're excited, and really kind of excited to watch and see what happens.
Brad, we always appreciate the time here in the Racing Electronics Display and Wing Nation. Thanks for joining us, and we wish you well with this coming season.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
There we go. That is Brad Sweet joining us here in the Racing Electronics Display.